What is up, loves and dudes? It is your girl, Ali G, the real crazy wild one. If you didn't know, now you know. If you're new here though, and this is your first video here on my channel, welcome. I'm doing actually a series of the Daily Grind Workbook, the Dream Life Blueprint Workbook. It's about getting to know yourself, where you are right now, and learn about what really matters to you. Just to summarize this workbook and what you're gonna find in this workbook, and I quote from her, you don't need to change who you are. You just need to understand yourself and understand what works best for you. I love that, because a lot of the times we think that something is wrong with us. What? No. You were made uniquely. You're special, and there's nobody else that can be you. That is your power. So tag along if you want, if this interests you, but catch up, because for today's video, it's going to be chapter 7 and 8. So if this is your first video, you have 1 through 6 to still run through. If you're not new here, let's continue the series. Let's see what chapter 7 and 8 have in store for us. Without further ado, let's just hop right into it. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. This time, I didn't realize for literally the past 6 chapters that on the screen of YouTube, if you watch it on your TV or on your phone, you can barely see what's written, and it's the kind of font that she uses in the workbook. So I do apologize for that 6 chapters later, but this time it's going to be a little longer, because I am going to read you guys the question per question, so you guys can have it at least in audio if you can't really see it on the screen. So I'm just going to go ahead and read through it. The first page that you fill out is rest or reset. So the first one asks how you can take time away from the everyday tasks and to-dos. So these are basically questions and you just answer them. Number 2, how can you give yourself permission to not be helpful? How can you help yourself instead? Number 3, how can you do something fun and not necessarily productive? Something that is not social media or TV. Number 4, how can you connect with nature or art? Number 5, how can you spend time on something that will help you feel amazing about yourself? Number 6, how can you take a break from any job or responsibility? 7, how can you give yourself space to decompress and process your thoughts? 8, how can you create a safe, judgment-free zone for yourself? Number 9, how can you have alone time at home? And then the next page is fears that control you. So you guys can read the bold. I'm gonna read what you can't see. Number 1, everything falling apart because of one mistake I have made. 2, feeling worthless and loved, left alone and unwanted. 3, feeling defeated, hopeless, and coming in second. 4, being abandoned, forgotten, duped, or feeling lost. 5, feeling energetically overwhelmed or emotionally manipulated. 6, being stuck, unfairly punished, feeling afraid or fearful. 7, feeling left out, optionless, criticized, or living a small life. 8, never making a difference, feeling naive. 9, being in constant chaos, fighting or irreparable conflict. All right, and the next one is face your fears. Now this one, we're going to go back into chapter 2, because it's going to touch base on your Enneagram if it was different. So the first question is, what would you say are your biggest triggers or fears? That is in reference to the last page. Which one or which 2 were your biggest ones? And then the next one is, which numbers did you check on the previous page? List the numbers here. Did that number maybe match up with your Enneagram you discovered in chapter 2? So if it's a no, then you're going to proceed and figure out maybe it's a different answer. So you're going to go through all of these that I'm going to say right now, and whichever one ends up being your highest scale, those are the ones that you stick to. So the perfectionist, everything needs to be perfect. Giver, I need to make sure everything is okay. Achiever, I have so much to do. Individualist, just let me be sad for a minute. Thinker, I already knew that. Guardian, here is a plan A, B, and C. Optimist, let's go out and have fun. Challenger, I'm not yelling, I'm just honest. Mediator, it is what it is. So you're going to scale from 1 through 5, which one sounds like you more. So just keep in mind, they did go in order from 1 through 9. So whatever sounded very much like you're going to take those numbers. So for the next page, we're going to go over the mantras to reset. So based on your number, these are the mantras and then the space of whichever one you want to keep. So number 1, the mantras that she gives as an example could be like, I know mistakes are okay and a part of growing. Imperfections are a part of life. Keep going. 2, I am loved for who I am. I am allowed to ask for what I want and need. For number 3, I don't need to be anyone but who I truly am. I allow myself to trust the path of life and accept failure as growth. For 4 is, I am loved for simply being who I am. My feelings deserve to be recognized, or you can come up with your own mantra too. 5, it's okay not to always have the answer. Asking for help is okay. It's a sign of self-awareness. 6, I am the right place at the right time. I know I am safe and surrounded by support and love. 7, I take time to work through grief and sadness. I pause and practice gratitude for all that I have. 8, I choose how to respond to confrontation. I am putting my happiness first. 9, I use obstacles to learn and grow. My opinion is important and it counts. So those are some mantras as an example, but you can come up with your own. Comment down below what mantra you chose. So this next page is what to cut out to reset. Now, based on your Enneagram, this is just an example that she gives of things like you should cut. So for me, Enneagram 3 was very relatable. So, and all in all, it's being true to myself, which she describes as chasing dreams that aren't really yours, aligning your worth with your accomplishments, burnout, ignore your feelings. So those are the things that I would need to cut, for example. And I so happen to also relate to Enneagram 7 and 9, which breathing and taking action and then setting boundaries. All right, so for the next page, how to glow up in a month. We are going to go over 4 different parts of life and we're just going to fill in the blanks. So I'm just going to go ahead and read as follows. You're going to fill in the blanks. So for body, I can do to sweat or stretch for at least 30 minutes daily. I will get to bed a bit earlier each evening by at least p.m. I will set aside time to prep and plan my meals for the week. These are a few small habits I can start that would improve my health, so on and so forth. For the mind, I can set aside 5 minutes to meditate daily at this time. I will limit TV time to hours, specifically on these days. I will only check my phone after a.m. once I start my day and turn it off by p.m. in the evening. I will read the following books in the next months. Fill that out. So for the soul, 3 things that I am grateful for. I can set stronger boundaries about. One great person I can reconnect with is, they make me feel. One mantra I can repeat daily is, now to grow. A big goal for the next 4 months is, one thing I can do to set that goal in motion is, one skill I'd like to improve on is, I can listen to this podcast, audiobook, or class to help me develop that skill. Now for the next page, we're going to reset habits. Now, this is just another fill-in. Habits I want to change, for example, excessive phone time, what I can replace it with, cup of tea or creative journaling, how it will impact my life, less anxiety, more energy and focus, strategies to make it happen, lock phone apps, airplane mode. So just fill in the blank with as much as habits as you would like. If you're going along on a piece of paper or your notebook, knock yourself out here. And the following page after that, we are going to protect your peace. So below is the list of activities to unplug, reset your mind, and avoid burnout. So think of whatever comes to mind, and these are just for you to jot down. But like, for example, do half a day of social media detox, set your focus for the day, spend 30 minutes outside. Those are just some examples, but knock yourself out here too. Now let's build a reset routine. The following is the best reset routine I know. Follow this guide or use the following page or a blank paper if you guys are using notebooks to follow this layout and just create your own morning routine or whatever's reset routine. So the total routine length, you want to jot down how long you want to take for each of these, but write out intentions. How long do you want to take? Get it on paper. Like, for example, plan your day. Reset your health. How long? Sweat or stretch. Reset overwhelm. What is stressing me? me most, what is overwhelming, what takes away my peace. Reset your energy. Put on your favorite song, compliment yourself. Reset your life. I'm most excited about this goal, blank. Turn off distractions. Reset your space. Tidy up your room, make your bed. Reset your body, make a green juice, take a bath. Reset your mind, 5 minutes of meditation, one motivating book. Reset your thoughts. Blank makes me feel powerful. Blank makes me feel powerless. Blank is holding me back. Reset your routine. I'd like to add this to my daily routine, and just think of what 3 things you would like to add, and bam, that's your reset routine. And now for the next page, we are going to reset according to you. Remember that these results, these answers, we're going to gather information that matters to you, that aligns with your values. So we're going to take it back to chapter 3 and answer the following. What can you do to reset based on your personality needs? For example, spend quality time with family. For me, it would be do daily affirmations, set boundaries. What can you do to reset based on your spirit needs? Example, be consistent with healthy habits. What can you do for yourself to reset based on your love language? Declutter and tidy up my space, revisiting my monthly goals. What activities can you focus on to reset based on what fills your cup? For example, make my vision board, follow through with my planner, family game night, go on dates. So think of what truly matters to you. We're coming to an end of this chapter, so you already know the top takeaways. So here we go. Top 3 fears that spoke to you most based on your personality. 3 things you will release to reset based on your personality. Your 3 favorite parts of your reset routine, and 4 things you will do to glow up this month. What are they? So if you've been here for the last 6 chapters, you already know the last page for doodles or anything that you can think of. How can you reset? So use this space for lists, notes, and doodles. Take it away. Now for the last chapter on today's video, we are going to start off by filling out the vortex. Now the vortex is in reference to where do you spend your time? Where do you waste your time? So list those in the bottom. Social media, TikTok, scrolling through there, you end up realizing that you've spent so much time just scrolling and time wasted, which leads to our very next page, time wasted. So if you're being honest with yourself, what are your biggest time wasters in your life right now? Top 4 times sucks. How many hours a day? And then on the bottom, you'll answer, does this feel like the right amount of hours devoted to these activities? If not, list ways you could better spend your time. What values and goals are you able to better touch on by managing the time spent on these activities? So the following page, we are literally digging deeper every time. So this next page, we are going to be doing the 24-hour clock. So draw a circle and draw out in a form of a pie the 24 hours of the day. Everyone has 24 hours. Where are we spending it? So just make sure you fill that out. What did you uncover about where your time is going? Was there any time that was wasted or unaccounted for? Like the time where you're just like, I don't know what the fuck I did. I can't even remember. Yeah, we're digging that deep, because our next page is going to be the timetable. So we all have the same 24 hours like I just mentioned. Let's use the next few pages to determine exactly where those hours are going. So we're gonna write out a couple of activities that we tend to do on a daily, how many hours we spent on each activity, how many days of the week, and just total up the hours. And then add up the hours weekly for total taken hours each week. 168 hours, take away the hours it took you, and then whatever hours are left each week. First thoughts about my hours spent and extra hours, what I can do with my extra hours, activities I want to make more time for, and activities I want to make less time for. So we're literally figuring all this out. We're literally going down to the numbers for this one. And on this next page, we're going to get past procrastination. What are some tasks or goals that you keep procrastinating on? Name 3. How can you break down one of these tasks to lessen the overwhelm? Step 1, 2, and 3. Set a firm deadline for your task. If your job depended on it, would it get done? What's the deadline? What are your biggest distractions? Name 3. How can you eliminate overwhelm and distraction in your environment? Think of 3 ideas. Jot them down. Who can you ask for help, support, assistance, or delegate some tasks to? So name 3 people. How will you celebrate or reward yourself once accomplished? What is the reward? Okay, so for this next page, it's just time management hacks. So these are ideas, not really to fill out, but I'm just going to review them with you. So blocks, time block your day. Buffer time, be sure to take the pressure and stress off by scheduling buffer times between tasks. Multitask, prioritize, routine, set mini deadlines throughout your day. Organize, focus, set timers even for the smallest tasks, and you will quickly realize how much time you waste on random activities. That is so freaking true. All right, let's get it done. So step 1, review your top 10 goals. Step 2, list your top 5. Determine the top 5 to-dos. Step 3, prioritize your top 5. Place them in order of most to least important. Step 4, clear morning focus. Prioritize your top 5 by starting at the top. The goal should be to complete the first 3. Step 5, one task at a time. Start the first task only. Step 6, reorder and repeat. Move any unfinished task to a fresh list for the next day. We're reaching the end of this chapter 2. So our top takeaways. Top 3 vortex activities and time sucks. What are they? 3 ways you can focus more when working on tasks. 3 examples of ways you can multitask, and activities you are going to set a timer for. And the last page, where is your time going? There, just doodle any notes, any lists. That's the free space you get at the end of the chapter.
Welcome back. So what did you guys think about chapter 7 and 8? What came up for you guys? Whatever you guys wish to share, make sure to comment it down below. Whatever you feel comfortable with sharing. So for today, I will be sharing my top takeaways. Actually, the fears that control you. So I don't know. That was an interesting page for me. I had to highlight these things, and obviously she does put in detail furthermore to help you select which one best relates to you or which one speaks more loudly. But being seen as bad was one of them. Everything falling apart because of one mistake I have made. So that kind of reminded me, honestly, like throughout my life. Sometimes that I decide on certain things, and obviously you only remember about, if you're like your worst critic, you'll only remember the ones that caused something bad because they hurt others. So that's the one that you tend to remember the most. Don't mind my nephew. I'm pretty sure I've done things that have led to, like, good moments, but I can't even tell you which ones they were because I don't even know. But I have made some, I guess one mistake is all it takes to ruin things or what have you, like make them feel like everything is falling apart and whatnot. So I've always like grown up feeling that way. Like I need reassurance when it comes to making decisions because I don't want to make a bad one. But I feel like that was like my childhood because I didn't really have that self-confidence that I needed other people's reassurance around me to tell me that is a good decision, like you're doing good, like I couldn't tell that to myself because I just never believed me. Obviously as I've grown I do feel some of that, but it makes sense why I didn't check that one off as being louder, I guess, because it's kind of wearing off. The one that I did check, or actually the next one that I did highlight, that I was kind of, debating if it really was my biggest one, was the number 7, feeling left out, optionless, criticized, or living a small life, being trapped, I guess. And the only thing that I can think of, being stuck in a negative situation or feeling held back, honestly yes, I do recall like being surrounded by people that made me feel left held, like I'm holding myself back. And that's again because I don't know if it's like people I care about. So obviously it's family, or in a relationship, even like you don't want to be that type, but it's just so hard when you're actually in it, that you actually love this person, or you love your family, and that you don't want to, no los quieres defraudar, I guess, because they just won't understand, and you kind of like make yourself small, or I don't know, like put yourself in a box, in a way, um so that you don't hurt the people around you, or just trying to avoid that, I guess. And at the end of the day, it's going to make you feel trapped. So um I was debating between that one too, because I have been in situations where I do like, um even being around friends, like not even being able to make an uplifting comment. Like I've even caught myself, I mean, being guilty of, lowering my vibration to match theirs, because I don't want them to feel like, oh my gosh, like, I don't know. I didn't want to make them feel some type of way, but even in those like insignificant situations, I guess, up until the big ones too, where I actually don't feel like I've been able to be myself in a way, or do certain things because other people will get hurt, or and I'm just trying to avoid that, but you can only do it for so long. um didn't check that one off because the other two actually spoke louder than that one. So feeling energetically overwhelmed or emotionally manipulated, being aka being invaded, and she describes that as being invaded, feeling useless, not being able to speak my truth. And that kind of relates to the other one, in the sense of you're not able to say your truth because others are not ready to hear it, and the last thing you want to do is hurt other people, so you don't say it. But I did check that one off as my biggest fear, because I tend to hold a lot in. The other one being in constant chaos, fighting, or irreparable conflict, if I pronounced that right. So, aka being in conflict. And she describes that as having no connection, being angry, judged, and taken advantage of. I am a friendly person, and I do come off as naive a lot of the times, or being judged because I'm too friendly, and it comes off as being flirtatious. That's a huge one. Um, Having no connection, that's definitely important for me, because whether it's with my family, whether it's with friends, I like to have that connection, even though it's, could be like the most innocent connection, but having that connection is is important for me. I feel like I just like to talk about things. My sister calls me cringy. I am. But I like things being expressed, and having, I don't know, having the connection, I guess. Like there's no other way to put it. Taken advantage of, that can be definitely another fear too, cuz I mean, who wants to be taken advantage of, And that tends to happen um to people like me, I guess. And I don't like being in conflict either. Like that's like the bigger picture that she puts it as, and it's true. Like whenever I think of having to talk about certain topics, I try to be wise about it, and be truthful, but at the end of the day, when it's something serious, like within my family, within my relationships, um I do fear that. I just can't help but think it gives me anxiety. I start sweating. Gives me, I don't know. It puts me in a certain state, because I obviously, like, all those what ifs start rushing in, and my the positive side of me tries to think of what if it all works well, or it is what it is. It is whatever ends up happening happens for a reason. But when you're in the moment, it's just like it's it's obviously different when you're experiencing it, because it's just so easy to go that route, to fall into that, and like doing the best that you can to avoid conflict, because like I always feel like not even being able to express myself or say what I have to say, without it making it worse. So that's another reason why, like, those two fears were, I guess, my biggest one, which is being invaded and being in conflict. It makes complete sense. Sorry about that if you're able to hear my dad, but he just got here. And anyways, let me know what ended up being your biggest fears that you feel control you. I'm glad that it shined light upon that, because now I can actually like look back at this. My top takeaways. So the fears that spoke to me the most were failing, conflict, and boredom. I believe that was the page right after that. Failing, because I always find myself saying, "Oh my gosh, I have so much to do," because I mean, there's so much things that I want to get done, that so many ideas that I want to get through, that I have actually narrowed down, so I don't like bombard myself with so much to do. But even with those small selective focuses or goals that I want to like prioritize, I'm always finding myself like I would like have so much to do. In a day you have so many hours, and I just tend to say that a lot, because even with selecting my priorities, it still feels that way. Conflict, we've discussed that. Boredom, I feel like boredom hits when talking about relationships. Like I can see myself there, thinking like, I don't want to lose a spark. Let's go on an adventure. I don't know. Do something spontaneous, or do something rather than, just living the day-to-day life and, 9 to 5 job, and then get back and have dinner, make food, do laundry, do chores, and, just get stuck in the rut of the daily life that you forget to make time, and you end up getting bored. And that's like, oh yes, that's a huge fear of mine, because I don't ever want to lose that. I personally don't want to experience being bored of my partner, like I don't want that, and I don't want it obviously to be vice versa, because then like, anyways, definitely speaks loudly for me, which is why, like, when I think of the future before starting a family, I do see myself having girls' nights, having family trips once in a while, but also like traveling with my significant other is literally what, like, that's my picture. That's it. And making things like fun, like with your significant other, you're supposed to be you're supposed to be with this person for the rest of your life, right? Those are a lot of years. This is my stinky nephew. You're so handsome. And that's like, how can you make the relationship interesting? How can you keep the spark? Diles. Así. Boo. Yeah. All that to say is, like, in relationships at least, not let it get bored, and you're just used to this, you see them every day, and it's just yeah, that's like a no-no for me. Three things I am going to release to reset based on my personality. And one of them is not being true to me, basically. So, still struggling with that, but I want to release that. Taking a deep breath and taking action, because things aren't easy to do. There's so much that comes to play if you're such a caring person and, you know, you're trying to have that don't give a fuck attitude. At the end of the day, it's hard because at the heart of your hearts, you're soft. And you have to train yourself to think logic, to logically to not feel, so that you don't have to give a fuck. And it's hard. It's hard to train your heart to do that. It's possible. It's doable, but it's harder for some of us. Or maybe we just haven't experienced that toughness that will make us just turn the switch on, you know what I'm saying? Like, go from 0 to 100 on that note. I don't know, taking a deep breath and just like taking action is not something I want to like release, more so like embrace, because I have so many ideas that need action. Like, I did start a list of all these things and I'm okay with just writing them down and leaving them as an idea for now, because I always know I can go back to it and focus on it. But even with whatever it is that I choose from a list that's from 1 through 10, and I just choose one out of that list, I still need to, like, you know, that motivation, that inspiration that will just like make me take action and not let the comfort of the daily life or like people around that don't understand what is required for my dreams to become a reality. I just like, if they don't see it, it's okay. They don't have to, because the gift was given to you and you alone. If you see it, that is all you need, sweetheart. Trying to remind myself that every time. It is hard. So by no means do I say anything because I've accomplished it. I wouldn't be here if I have, but that's like an affirmation, or a mantra, if you will. But take action and just do the things, you know, one step at a time. Not speaking up, people pleasing, and procrastination. Definitely want to release that, because it's not serving me. It really isn't. People pleasing for who they want you to be, and you're trying to please them to not be yourself, so they're happy. What does that leave you? Where does that leave you? How does that leave you feeling? Not you. Not speaking up because you're trying to please others. It's also a huge one for me. I tend to shut up. There is a wise way to speak up. I am still learning it. I'm still in the process, but procrastination has got to go. It's got to go. It's part of me taking action, and just doing the things. 3 favorite parts of my reset routine that I want to focus on is my mental health, my space, and my body. 4 things you will do to glow up. It says this month, but just glow up. For my body, I want to do yoga and these small habits that I want to get into. Definitely eating healthy at least 5 days of the week. Drinking more water. Romanticizing. As we currently speak, I have not been doing that. So I do want to get into that. for my body doing yoga. Like maybe I'm not working out, but just doing yoga and doing something physical with my body and stretching it, excuse me, it like makes a huge difference for my mind. I do want to keep reading. I do want to get into journaling more. I feel like I meditate more than I journal, but I do want to get into journaling and meditating, like continue those habits. More journaling because I feel like that's just the one thing that I tend not to do as often. For my soul, I really do need to get into affirmations, which I have not done. I've actually, my version of affirmations have turned into like listening to the Lucky Girl Syndrome song by Carolina. Anyways, that song is just a vibe. It hits every corner. It makes me feel amazing. So I listen to that one when I can't like actually look at my customized personal affirmations. And I did for my soul put connect with Angie more often because even I haven't been watching her and I haven't been keeping up to date with her videos, with what she posts. Like I have not, and she's one of the persons that make me feel like good. She inspires me. She she's living the life. She's like a reminder of what I want to live. So not watching her is like tucking my dreams away in a way, or like at least the motivational aspect or inspirational aspect of it. So I do want to keep more in touch with her. I want to start saving to take her course, her social media course, so that's on the list. And I feel like also subscribing to her will connection more since she has a subscription version on Instagram where she like dedicates like it's like one-on-one kind of feeling with her subscribers. And if that's something that I can do so I can feel close to her, like if we were like besties looking ass, then I want to get there. Right now I'm not able to subscribe. It's not even that much, but you know, I'm not able to right now, but I do want to get into that. Whatever it means, however, like whatever it looks like for me to actually feel close to her, which is whether it's like watching her videos or putting her YouTube's, you know, I don't know, clicking on something. Like I can rewatch all her videos that have brought inspiration to me. Her lives that she does for vision boards, like those are awesome. For growth, I want to keep myself accountable on social media and schedule each day like I did for the week that I was writing this, which is the 19th through 25. Hold on. Scheduling my week could potentially help me because it'll remind me of what my focus is, and I'm literally jotting down like my major goals, like my top 3 needle movers for the week, scheduling them out so I know that that I'm giving them time. So if you can see, this is the newer version. If you have her old version, she does have like lay out the week ahead in this way. And if it's hard for you to see, I do have like in a highlighter, that's why I guess you can't see it very well. I have like the dates of the week ahead. I have the dates, and in pencil I kind of jot down what I'm going to focus on that day. So I wrote it down in that way so it can remind me like what I want to focus on each day of the week. And let's just say I had what felt like a catastrophe event that really affected me personally, but I didn't really go through with like what I had scheduled. However, the scheduling aspect I felt like will. So I'm gonna keep, you know, this. So that was like not too long ago because this is literally the 1st of July. So it was, you know, last week. It was recent. So I've taken the time to just like feel whatever it is that I had to feel, and starting to get back on the grind. That's what it's gonna look like. So I'm gonna set aside like actually like what to focus on each day of the week, and go from there. That way it'll make me feel better that I'm actually giving time to my top 3 needle movers, generally speaking, out of the 10 goals that I might have. So Those were my top takeaways. Let me know what were your top takeaways, or whatever it is that you wish to share in the comments below. I would like to know, how have you been feeling? We're almost at the end of the entire workbook. My idea of this was to finish it in a month, and look, it's a little over. But overall, if you've been doing it with me, 2 chapters at a time, how have you been feeling? Are you excited for 9 and 10? What are your affirmations? What's a mantra that you came up with from from all these chapters so far? Like, what has worked for you? Have you made anything to change to in connection with this workbook? Anyways, that was all for this video. Thank you so much for sticking through, for joining and filling out this workbook with me. Now, on a different subject, which is the giveaway. No, I haven't spoken about it on these last videos, but just so you guys know, the giveaway information will be in the description of all of my videos. So if you want to know how to enter the giveaway, read the description. It'll be there. So you can enter the giveaway, and you can have one of these bad boys. This is literally something that you can actually go through, quarterly. Maybe things might change, goals might change. You might need to revisit this workbook again. You can literally finish it and just go ham, within a span of a week and a half. You have in it, but I kind of wanted to do it with you guys and film it, and obviously the reality of it, of me finding the time, me finding I don't know, just finding how I can actually work to film and deliver this, and just film in general and edit and still do the things that I have to do personally. Like, that is kind of what dragged it. And also having the unexpected happen, dedicating time with family kind of takes time away too. But the giveaway details will be in the description. Don't forget about that one. I do really want to, I can't wait to actually go and deliver this, well, not deliver it personally, but send it to the winner. Make sure you're following me on all social media platforms, because the winner will be announced there. I will see you guys on the next 2 chapters. If you were new here and this was your first video, thank you for hanging out with me. Hopefully you found some value, something that you needed to hear, perhaps, I don't know, an idea that came out of this video. So there is a giveaway, but there also is, I also link in the description where you can purchase it. Totally not sponsored yet, but you can always purchase it if you want to. You don't need it, but it's quite nice to have, actually. I've really enjoyed it. It has made me cry and it has shone the light into things that I needed light, that reassurance almost, or whoa, I didn't know that's literally a solution for someone like me. So her assessments, everything, all about this book, I'm just in love with it. I will see you guys on the next video. Thank you so much for watching, and well, yeah, bye.